When we talk about global wealth, power, and legacy, some of the most influential names belong to Black families who built empires across continents. From business magnates to media royalty, these families aren't just rich, they're redefining generational wealth. Today, we're diving into the richest Black families in the world, the dynasties shaping industries, controlling global markets, and inspiring millions. If you're new here, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's get into the world of extraordinary Black excellence. Starting right now. Opening our list is a man whose rise feels straight out of a modern epic. Tyler Perry isn't merely an actor, director, or writer. He's a one-man media empire, an independent powerhouse who built his fortune, now at $1.4 billion from nothing. His ascent is legendary, from living in his car to becoming one of the most influential creators in entertainment history. And it didn't begin in Hollywood. Perry's breakthrough came on stage, where he wrote, produced, and performed his own plays, steadily cultivating an enormous and fiercely loyal audience. The secret behind his wealth can be summed up in one word: ownership. Perry refused to surrender control of his work. He retained full rights to his creations, including the wildly successful Medea franchise, which alone earned over $660 million, ensuring the profits came back to him. He owns his entire creative library, hundreds of TV episodes, dozens of films, and numerous stage plays. His crown jewel, however, is the 330-acre Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. So vast, it eclipses several traditional Hollywood lots and has hosted major productions like Marvel's Black Panther. Tyler Perry's story is a masterclass in the power of owning your narrative, building your own platform, and forging an independent path to extraordinary success. Next, we shift to a dynasty built on one of the most dominant and culturally defining careers in sports: the Woods family, led by golfing legend Tiger Woods. Their collective wealth, rooted in Tiger's unmatched global influence, now stands at roughly $1.4 billion. Tiger didn't just revolutionize golf, he became a worldwide business force, transforming his name into a brand synonymous with excellence. His tournament winnings, impressive as they are, make up only a sliver of the family fortune. The real empire rose from his historic endorsement deals and the relentless cultivation of his personal brand. His landmark partnership with Nike, now nearly 30 years strong, remains one of the most lucrative alliances in sports history, birthing the iconic TW logo and generating billions in revenue. Tiger expanded his commercial reach with elite partnerships from Rolex to TaylorMade, solidifying his status as a marketing juggernaut. But endorsements were only the beginning. Woods built businesses of his own, including TGR Design, a global golf course design firm, and TGR Ventures, which oversees his wide-ranging investments and entrepreneurial pursuits. Next is a family shaped by a basketball icon who somehow became an even bigger legend in business: the Johnson family, led by the magnetic Earvin "Magic" Johnson. After his Hall of Fame career, Magic built a commercial empire now valued at around $1.5 billion. Though his NBA salary was impressive for its era, it's dwarfed by the fortune he built as a visionary investor. His groundbreaking philosophy was simple but radical. He invested in communities traditional corporations ignored. Soon after retiring, he launched Magic Johnson Enterprises, aimed at bringing high-quality businesses and opportunities to underserved urban areas. One of his most transformative moves was partnering with Starbucks to open 100-plus stores in minority neighborhoods, proving these communities were not just viable markets, they were thriving ones. But the cornerstone of the Johnson fortune is his majority stake in Equitrust Life Insurance Company. When he bought 60% in 2015, it held $16 billion in assets. Today, that number exceeds $26 billion under his leadership. Add in stakes in major sports franchises like the Los Angeles Dodgers and Washington Commanders, and Magic has built a community-driven empire that's made him one of the most respected athlete entrepreneurs alive. Then comes a man whose story crackles with high-voltage ambition: Femi Otedola, head of the Otedola family and the architect of a multi-billion-dollar empire, now worth $1.6 billion. Born in Ibadan in 1962 to Lagos State's former governor, Sir Michael Otedola, Femi's early life was shaped not by privilege, but by hard work at his father's printing press. Restless and business-minded from childhood, he craved movement, deals, and growth. In his 30s, he made his defining leap, founding Zenon Petroleum and Gas, dominating Nigeria's downstream energy sector with diesel, fuel distribution, storage, and his own shipping fleet. His next power play came in 2007 when he acquired and rebranded African Petroleum into Fort Oil plc, turning it into a modern, aggressive, and highly profitable energy company. But Otedola's biggest pivot came in 2013, power generation. He acquired a gas-fired plant and created Geregu Power plc, signaling a shift towards shaping Nigeria's energy future. By 2018, he exited downstream oil entirely and doubled down on power and finance, becoming a major shareholder in FBN Holdings and holding significant stakes in Zenith Bank. Today, Otedola stands as a titan in energy and finance, chairman of Geregu Power, a major banking investor, and owner of real estate across Lagos, London, Dubai, and Monaco. His strategy is simple: buy struggling companies, rebuild them, exit once the legacy is secured, and he gives back generously through education, healthcare, and infrastructure philanthropy. From a printing press to tankers, to power plants energizing a nation, Femi Otedola's story is a masterclass in reinvention, proof that he is not just a businessman, but an architect of transformation. Next, we spotlight a family led by the man who became South Africa's first black billionaire, Patrice Motsepe, a trailblazer who broke through one of the country's most entrenched and exclusive industries. Today, the Motsepe family commands an estimated $3 billion fortune. Born in Soweto at the height of apartheid, Motsepe's rise reflects the possibilities unlocked in a transforming nation. Though he began as a lawyer, he recognized a rare opportunity in South Africa's shifting mining landscape. In the late 1990s, he founded African Rainbow Minerals, ARM, with a strategy both bold and brilliantly simple: purchase underperforming gold shafts written off by major companies, then revive them through sharp management and operational discipline. This approach became the foundation of a now diversified mining powerhouse, with major holdings in gold, platinum, coal, and other minerals. The family's significant stake in ARM remains the core of their wealth, but the empire didn't stop there. Through African Rainbow Capital, Motsepe expanded into finance, most notably backing the innovative digital bank TimeBank. His influence also reaches into sports. He owns the Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club and serves as president of the Confederation of African Football. Patrice Motsepe's story is one of vision, timing, and transformation. Proof that even in the most fortified industries, bold strategy can redraw the map. Next is the Winfrey family, led by the incomparable Oprah Winfrey, who built a media empire now valued at roughly $3 billion. Her rise from extreme poverty in rural Mississippi to becoming the world's first black female billionaire remains one of the most inspiring success stories of our time. The core of her wealth was The Oprah Winfrey Show, a 25-year cultural juggernaut and the highest-rated talk show in history. But Oprah's true brilliance lay in owning the show. Through Harpo Productions, she retained full control of the program, its library, and all spin-offs, allowing her to reinvest massive profits into expanding her empire. She went on to launch OWN, her own television network, and produce acclaimed films like The Color Purple and Selma. Today, the Winfrey portfolio spans a major stake in Weight Watchers and prime real estate across California and Hawaii. Oprah hasn't just built wealth, she's built a cultural dynasty that continues to shape global influence. Then comes the Carter family, known to the world as Jay-Z and Beyoncé, with a combined net worth of about $3.3 billion. Their story isn't just about music success, it's a masterclass in converting cultural power into a diversified, resilient empire. Jay-Z, hip-hop's first billionaire, now commands roughly $2.5 billion. His wealth surged through strategic deals, selling half of his champagne brand Armand de Brignac to LVMH in a deal valuing it over $600 million, and later selling his majority stake in Douce to Bacardi for a reported $750 million. His company, Roc Nation, dominates music management and sports representation. Beyoncé, a global icon, holds an estimated $800 million fortune. Her record-shattering tours bring in hundreds of millions, and through Parkwood Entertainment, she maintains full creative and financial control over her work. Together, the Carters represent the peak of modern celebrity entrepreneurship, a dynasty built not just on talent, but on vision, ownership, and impeccable timing. Next is an athlete who turned on-court greatness into the most powerful personal brand in sports history, The Jordan family, led by Michael Jordan, with a staggering $3.5 billion empire. Though Jordan earned about $90 million in NBA salary, he now makes many times that annually. The engine of his fortune is his groundbreaking partnership with Nike. What began as a signature sneaker has evolved into the Jordan brand, a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut generating over $5 billion for Nike each year. His unmatched royalty deal gives him a substantial cut of every product sold, creating an endless stream of passive income. His empire extended beyond sneakers. For years, he was majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets. In 2023, he sold his stake in a blockbuster deal valuing the franchise at $3 billion, converting decades of brand power into a huge payoff. Now we turn to the Rabiu family, built by Nigerian industrialist Abdul Samad Rabiu, whose fortune stands at about $5.1 billion. His journey began in commodity importing, steel, rice, iron, before inheriting land from his entrepreneurial father. But Rabiu had a bigger vision, moved from trading goods to manufacturing them at scale. He founded the BUA Group, which has grown into a major force across cement, sugar, real estate, and port operations. The family's wealth is anchored in two publicly traded giants, Bua Cement and Bua Foods. Bua Cement is Nigeria's second largest producer, and Rabiu is aggressively expanding capacity with ambitions to overtake the market leader. The Rabius are building an industrial dynasty supplying the literal building blocks of modern Africa. Next is the Adenuga family, led by the famously private yet immensely influential Mike Adenuga, with a massive $6.8 billion fortune. Nicknamed the Bull, he made his first millions in the 1990s as a contractor before diving into oil, founding Con Oil Producing, one of the first Nigerian-owned companies granted an oil exploration license. His most visible achievement, however, is Globacom, launched in 2003. Today, it's Nigeria's second-largest mobile network with over 60 million subscribers and a major telecom force across West Africa. Globacom transformed the industry by being the first to offer per-second billing, shaking up competitors and winning millions of loyal customers. The Adenuga Empire stands as a symbol of bold strategy, quiet power, and continent-shaping influence. Now let's talk about a name that, despite steering one of the most powerful tech companies on Earth, has managed to rise to the top of America's wealth rankings with almost no public spotlight. We're talking about Alexander Karp, the co-founder and CEO of Palantir Technologies, whose net worth is estimated by some to be as high as $8.4 billion. Raised by a black mother and a Jewish father, Karp built what many consider one of the world's most secretive and influential data analysis companies. Palantir, famously backed early on by the CIA's venture arm In-Q-Tel, specializes in ultra-advanced software that digs through oceans of data to reveal hidden patterns, technology now used by major government agencies like the FBI and Department of Defense, as well as powerful multinational corporations. When Palantir went public through a direct listing in 2020, the global explosion in demand for AI and big data tools sent the company's value soaring, and with it, Karp's personal fortune. Yet unlike the typical flashy Silicon Valley billionaire, he stays intentionally low-key, leaning into philosophy, long-distance skiing, and a quiet lifestyle. His rise is one of the most unusual and quietly powerful stories in tech today. Next on this list, with an estimated net worth reported by some sources as high as $10.3 billion, is Mohammed Al-Amoudi, one of the most overlooked titans in global industry. Born in Ethiopia to a Hadrami Yemeni father and an Ethiopian mother, Al-Amoudi built the bulk of his vast fortune in Saudi Arabia, where he is a citizen. He started in construction and real estate, then strategically expanded into a sprawling, international network of businesses under two major holding groups, Coral Petroleum Holdings and Midrock. His portfolio stretches across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. He owns major oil refineries in Sweden and Morocco, significant gold mining operations, massive agricultural businesses, and a collection of luxury hotels, while maintaining especially deep investment roots in Ethiopia. With a quietly diversified empire and decades of steady expansion into essential infrastructure sectors, Mohammed Al-Amoudi has climbed to the very top of global wealth rankings, an extraordinary example of building entire industries across multiple continents, all while staying almost completely out of the public eye. Next, we have a family whose massive wealth wasn't built from oil fields, factories, or mineral deposits, but from the highly technical, insanely profitable world of enterprise software and high finance. This is the family of Robert F. Smith, the private equity powerhouse with an estimated net worth of $10.8 billion. Smith didn't just succeed in private equity, he rewrote the playbook. After starting his career as a chemical engineer and later thriving as an investment banker, he made a bold move in 2000. He founded Vista Equity Partners. His strategy was deceptively simple and unbelievably smart. Invest only in enterprise software companies. He recognized early that software businesses, especially those selling to other companies, had something priceless: stable, recurring revenue. They were predictable. They were scalable. And most importantly, they were dramatically undervalued by traditional investment firms. Smith moved in where others weren't even looking. The result? Vista grew into a financial juggernaut, now managing over $100 billion in assets, making it the largest Black-owned private equity firm in the nation and one of the most influential players in global finance. Beyond his business genius, Robert F. Smith is also known for philanthropy that turns heads. Most famously, he shocked the country when he pledged to pay off the entire student loan debt for Morehouse College's class of 2019, a moment that instantly cemented his legacy as a leader devoted to expanding opportunity. Robert F. Smith didn't just build a fortune, he built a blueprint for wealth in the digital age. Next up, meet the Stewart family, led by the visionary founder and chairman, David Stewart, of Worldwide Technology. With a family net worth estimated at a jaw-dropping $11.4 billion, David Stewart ranks among the richest Black men in America. But his journey didn't start in luxury. David grew up with humility at the heart of his life. His father worked as a mechanic and janitor, teaching him the value of hard work and perseverance. In 1990, fueled by vision and relentless determination, David co-founded Worldwide Technology, WWT, a company that helps massive corporations and government agencies navigate the complexities of their technology systems. What started as a small, ambitious venture has transformed into a private, family-owned powerhouse. Today, WWT stands as the largest Black-owned company in the U.S., pulling in an astounding $20 billion in annual revenue. Its client roster reads like a who's who of global business. Financial titans like Citi, telecom giants like Verizon, and critical contracts with the U.S. federal government. Even now, David Stewart continues to serve as chairman, steering the company and building a lasting family legacy in a fast-changing tech world. Year after year, he has dominated the top ranks of industry leaders, cementing his place as an undisputed titan on the global stage. And now, stepping into the spotlight is the wealthiest Black person in the world, the Dangote family, led by Nigeria's and Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, with an eye-popping net worth of $23.9 billion. For over a decade, Aliko Dangote's name has been synonymous with industrial power and Pan-African ambition. His empire, the Dangote Group, isn't just big, it's the largest business conglomerate in all of West Africa. Dangote's rise began humbly, with a loan from his uncle and trading basic commodities like cement, sugar, and flour. But he had a bigger vision: to shift from importing goods to producing them right here in Africa, for Africans. Through relentless drive, he turned Dangote Cement into the continent's largest and most dominant cement producer. Yet his boldest, game-changing project came to life recently. The Dangote Refinery, valued at $23 billion, it's one of the world's largest and most technologically advanced oil refineries, officially kicking off operations in early 2024. This single project has the potential to transform Nigeria's economy, turning the nation from a fuel importer into a major global exporter, and securing the Dangote family's legacy for generations to come. Wow, what an incredible journey through the world of wealth, vision, and legacy. From David Stewart building a tech empire that dominates the U.S., to Aliko Dangote reshaping Africa's economy with a single refinery, these families prove that ambition, hard work, and smart vision know no limits. If you were inspired by their stories, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story of the world's most powerful movers and shakers. Here's our countdown of the top 15 richest Black families in the world. But the story doesn't end here. There are plenty of other powerful Black billionaire families making waves globally. Think of the likes of Adebayo Ogunlesi, Rihanna, Mohammed Ibrahim, Michael Lee Chin, Tope Awotona, and that's just to name a few. These families are not just wealthy, they're shaping industries, breaking barriers, and inspiring generations. Stay tuned, because the legacy and influence of Black excellence is only getting bigger and bolder.